In the glorious days of ancient Rome, an emperor could possess the entire world. Yet some emperors were willing to give up everything for a beautiful boy, even their crown. This was not a tender romance, but a game of power, desire, and danger. And in this game, the most beloved boys were often the first to be devoured as sacrifices. Rome inherited the boy worship of Greece, but they pushed it to its extremes. It was no longer mere admiration, but a naked obsession and extravagant indulgence. In the upper echelons of Roman society, a banquet was not truly glorious unless graced by the company of beautiful boys. Their skin gleamed smooth as ivory, their features so refined they seemed sculpted by the gods themselves. A high, broad nose, lips gently upturned, a jawline both sharp and tender, shoulders and waist aligned in perfect harmony with the golden ratio of classical aesthetics. They were living works of art. Poets composed verses for them. Sculptors captured their forms in marble, and the powerful lost their reason before them. When Nero first laid eyes on Sporus, the world seemed to stand still. The boy's face was luminous and delicate, his eyes brimming with youthful shyness, yet tinged with an intoxicating defiance. Some said he was the incarnation of Venus, reborn among mortals. Nero loved his wife Poppaea dearly, but when she died suddenly, the brilliance of the empire seemed dim to him, until he saw Sporus. In that instant, the boy became her shadow, Nero's obsession. Thus unfolded one of history's most shocking scenes. Nero commanded that Sporus be castrated, dressed him in women's robes, held a wedding ceremony, and brought him into the palace, as though his lost empress had returned to life. Was this love, or utter destruction? From that moment, Sporus's fate was no longer his own. He became the emperor's pet, forced night after night to perform an absurd and tragic dream. Yet Hadrian's love would leave history a very different story. Hadrian, one of Rome's most visionary rulers, once encountered Antinous during a journey. The boy was of humble birth, yet he carried a mysterious aura of the East. His brows and eyes were gentle, his figure tall and graceful, and every gesture radiated unspoken elegance. Hadrian was utterly captivated. From then on, whether in affairs of state or in travel, Antinous never left his side. The majesty of an emperor melted into tenderness before the boy, but fate struck cruelly again. During a voyage on the Nile, Antinous drowned under mysterious circumstances. Some claimed he sacrificed himself to save Hadrian. Others whispered of palace intrigue. Still others believed he chose death, offering his life as the ultimate gift of love. Hadrian was inconsolable. He ordered temples to be built for Antinous, countless statues to be cast in his likeness, and even declared him divine, making him the only mortal boy in Rome to be worshipped as a god. In the empire's most glorious age, the beauty of a single boy was enough to stand beside the gods. Yet in Rome, the love of boys was destined to be a dangerous adventure. The story of Sporus was a mirror of this truth. After Nero's death, he was treated as spoils of war, passed from one powerful master to another. His beauty became his shackle. He could neither escape nor break free. In the end, he chose suicide. He was only 20 years old. In the Roman Empire, even if a boy had once been cradled in the emperor's hands, the moment he lost protection, his fate was not glory, but ruin. They were ornaments for banquets, bargaining chips in politics, symbols of imperial desire. And once youth had faded, they were cast aside, like shattered goblets on a marble floor. It was not only emperors who were obsessed with beautiful boys. Roman nobles also competed to find the most striking youths. From the slave markets, they selected handsome boys, training them to play the lyre, to dance, to recite poetry. These boys were pets at feasts and companions in bed. For the aristocracy, a boy was a mark of status, a luxury of desire. In a society drunk on extravagance, the beauty of boys was more precious than gold and jewels. Roman society was steeped in contradiction. On one hand, emperors' affairs with boys were tolerated in public. On the other, they were ridiculed and condemned on moral grounds. Senators privately mocked Nero's absurdities. The eyes of the people held both envy and contempt. Historians left behind countless accounts, criticizing, yet unable to conceal their admiration. for the beauty of boys was like an irresistible light. Their features, their forms, their very presence seemed to echo humanity's purest desires. Even 1,000 years later, when we gaze upon those statues, that power still pierces us. Yet no boy ever truly escaped the net of fate. They were sacrificed, or forgotten, or reduced to shadows in legend. If Roman boy love was a game of power, then in the East, in the Arab world, it became a symphony of poetry and taboos. Next episode, we will journey into the world of 1001 Nights. There, boys were both flames of desire and the most mysterious muses of poets. Episode 3, Poetry and Taboos of the East, Boy Aesthetics in the Arab World.